Imagine walking through a quiet forest when suddenly a snake slithers across your path. It pauses, lifts its head slightly, and begins flicking its tongue in and out with eerie precision. It almost looks like it's tasting the air, like it knows something you don't. That tiny, rapid motion has fascinated humans for centuries, often misunderstood as a sign of aggression or threat. But what if that flicking tongue is actually one of the most advanced sensory tools in the animal kingdom? What if in that moment the snake isn't threatening you at all, but carefully studying you, decoding invisible chemical clues floating through the air? Today we're diving into the surprising science behind one simple question. Why do snakes flick their tongues? Let's explore right here on History of Simple Things. To understand this behavior, we first need to step into the world of a snake. Unlike humans, snakes don't rely heavily on sight or hearing. Many species have poor vision, and while they can detect vibrations, their ability to hear airborne sounds is limited. So instead, snakes evolved a different, highly specialized way to see their environment through chemistry. Their primary tool? That constantly flicking forked tongue. When a snake flicks its tongue, it's not tasting in the way we do with our mouths. Instead, it's collecting tiny chemical particles from the air, the ground, or nearby surfaces. Think of it like a living sensor, sweeping through the environment and gathering microscopic scent information. Each flick captures particles that are then delivered to a specialized organ inside the snake's mouth called the Jacobson's organ, also known as the vomeronasal organ. This organ is where the real magic happens. Once the tongue retracts, it presses against the openings of the Jacobson's organ, transferring the collected particles. The organ then analyzes these chemical signals and sends detailed information to the snake's brain. This process allows snakes to detect prey, recognize predators, identify potential mates, and even follow scent trails with remarkable accuracy. In a sense, snakes don't just smell their world, they interpret it in a way that combines aspects of both smell and taste into a single powerful sense. But one of the most fascinating features of a snake's tongue is its forked shape. That split tip isn't just for show. It plays a critical role in helping snakes determine direction. Each fork of the tongue collects chemical information from slightly different locations. When the tongue retracts, the snake's brain compares the signals from each side. If one side picks up a stronger scent than the other, the snake can determine which direction the source is coming from. It's similar to how humans use two ears to locate the direction of a sound, but in this case, it's all about chemical gradients. This ability is especially useful when tracking prey. A snake can follow a trail left behind by a passing animal, flicking its tongue repeatedly to stay on course. Each flick provides updated information, allowing the snake to adjust its path with precision. It's a slow but incredibly effective hunting strategy, turning the environment itself into a map of invisible scent markers. Tongue flicking also plays a role in social and reproductive behavior. Snakes can detect pheromones, chemical signals released by other snakes, through their tongue and Jacobson's organ. These signals can reveal whether another snake is a potential mate, a rival, or simply passing through. During mating season, males often flick their tongues more frequently as they search for the scent trails of females. In some species, this can lead to intense competition, with multiple males following the same chemical trail in pursuit of a single mate. Interestingly, the rate of tongue flicking can also tell us something about a snake's state of mind. A relaxed snake may flick its tongue slowly and steadily, casually sampling its surroundings. But if a snake feels threatened or is investigating something unfamiliar, its tongue flicking may become faster and more frequent. This heightened activity reflects an increase in information gathering as the snake tries to better understand a potentially dangerous situation. It's also worth noting that not all snakes rely on tongue flicking to the same degree. While all snakes use this mechanism to some extent, some species have additional sensory adaptations. For example, pit vipers, like rattlesnakes, have specialized heat-sensing pits that allow them to detect warm-blooded prey even in complete darkness. However, even these highly adapted hunters still rely on tongue flicking to gather chemical information, showing just how fundamental this behavior is across the snake world. Another common misconception is that a flicking tongue is a warning sign that a snake is about to strike. In reality, tongue flicking is usually just a sign that the snake is gathering information. It's not inherently aggressive. A snake preparing to strike will typically show other signs, such as coiling its body, hissing, or adopting a defensive posture. The tongue flick, on its own, is more about curiosity than confrontation. So the next time you see a snake flicking its tongue, remember that you're witnessing something extraordinary. That quick, almost invisible motion is part of a sophisticated sensory system that allows the snake to navigate its world with precision and awareness. It's not a threat. It's a glimpse into a completely different way of experiencing reality. In the end, what might look strange or even unsettling at first glance is actually a brilliant example of nature's ingenuity. Snakes don't just move silently through their environments. They analyze, interpret, and respond to a hidden layer of chemical information that most of us will never perceive, and all of it starts with a simple flick of the tongue. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.